Imagine you wake up in a world where everyone wears a mask, not just for disguise, but because they've forgotten their true faces. A voice whispers in your ear, "You too have forgotten who you are." This is the world Carl Jung describes in the undiscovered self-world, where people have lost touch with their individuality, surrendering to mass movements, ideologies, and external authority. In this book, Jung acts as a guide, leading us into the depths of our own psyche to recover what has been buried, the true self. If you've ever felt that something is missing in modern life, that society pushes you to conform, that deep down there's more to you than what you show the world, this book is a map to self-discovery. But be warned, the journey won't be easy. Let's dive into Jung's wisdom and uncover the secrets that can change the way you see yourself and the world. Jung begins by diagnosing a problem that is more relevant today than ever. We live in an age of mass-mindedness. Societies push individuals to conform, discouraging independent thought and suppressing personal uniqueness. This creates a world of automatons, people who behave like cogs in a machine rather than fully realized human beings. Jung argues that modern civilization prioritizes collective identity over individuality. Political ideologies, religions, and cultural movements often tell people what to think and how to behave. This pressure to conform creates what Jung calls the mass man, a person who no longer thinks for themselves, but simply absorbs the dominant narrative. Why does this happen? Because it's easier. It's comforting to belong to a group, to follow rules, to not have to wrestle with uncertainty. But in doing so, people trade their individuality for security, becoming prisoners without even realizing it. Beneath our conscious thoughts, Jung explains, lies the unconscious mind, a vast realm of hidden fears, desires, and instincts. Most people ignore this part of themselves, pretending it doesn't exist. But when the unconscious is suppressed, it doesn't disappear, it takes control in ways we don't recognize. Ever wonder why people blindly follow leaders, become obsessed with ideologies, or engage in destructive behavior? That's the unconscious at work. Suppressed emotions and fears find an outlet through mass movements, fanaticism, and even violence. Jung warns that unless individuals confront their unconscious selves, they will always be at the mercy of forces they don't understand. In the modern world, we trust science to explain everything, but Jung argues that science, while powerful, has stripped the human experience of meaning. We can measure atoms and galaxies, but we struggle to understand the depths of our own psyche. Many people feel lost and disconnected because their inner world has been neglected. We've become overly rational, dismissing emotions, dreams, and spiritual experiences as unimportant. But without acknowledging these parts of ourselves, we remain fragmented, half alive, half asleep. If the modern world encourages conformity and unconscious behavior, how can we break free? Jung offers a radical solution. Instead of looking outward for answers, turn inward. Jung introduces the concept of individuation, the process of becoming your true, whole self. This doesn't mean rejecting society or living in isolation. It means recognizing the unique aspects of your personality that make you different from the crowd. To individuate, you must confront your shadow, the hidden, repressed parts of yourself that you don't want to acknowledge. This is difficult because it requires honesty, courage, and self-reflection. But Jung insists that without this step, true freedom is impossible. Think of your shadow as the part of you that holds everything you've denied about yourself, your fears, desires, impulses, and weaknesses. Most people avoid their shadow because it's uncomfortable to face. But Jung warns that ignoring the shadow gives it power. History proves this. When individuals don't acknowledge their own dark sides, They project their fears onto others, leading to prejudice, violence, and mass hysteria. Instead of owning their aggression, people label others as evil and justify destruction in the name of righteousness. Individuation requires embracing your shadow, understanding that it's part of you, and integrating it into your conscious life. This is the only way to prevent unconscious forces from controlling you. Jung believed that humans need meaning to thrive. Without it, we feel empty, anxious, and directionless. Religions once provided a deep sense of purpose, but in the modern age, many people have rejected traditional beliefs without replacing them with anything meaningful. Jung isn't arguing for blind faith, he's arguing for inner spirituality. This means connecting with something beyond the material world, whether through mythology, philosophy, art, or personal experience. He suggests exploring dreams, symbols, and archetypes to understand the deeper layers of the psyche. Jung's ultimate message is clear. The battle for the soul is fought within the individual, not society. Governments, ideologies, and institutions will always seek to control people. But true power lies in self-awareness. Jung warns against blindly trusting political or religious leaders who claim to have all the answers. History is full of examples of charismatic figures who manipulate the masses by tapping into their unconscious fears and desires. He advises, never surrender your critical thinking. Question authority, analyze group movements, and resist the urge to follow blindly. The more self-aware you become, the harder it is for external forces to manipulate you. One of Jung's most challenging ideas is that true individuation often means standing alone. Society rewards conformity, and those who refuse to fit in are often seen as rebels or outcasts. But Jung sees this as the price of freedom. The more you understand yourself, the less you need external validation. Instead of seeking approval from the crowd, you begin to trust your own inner voice. Jung believed that society can only change if individuals change first. Mass movements, revolutions, and ideologies will never create a better world unless people confront their own unconscious selves. The solution isn't found in politics or technology. It's found in self-awareness and personal growth. If enough people commit to individuation, the collective mind will shift, creating a healthier, more conscious society. Imagine standing at a crossroads. One path leads to comfort and conformity, where you blend into the crowd and never question anything. The other path is uncertain and challenging, requiring deep self-exploration and courage. Jung's message is clear. Only by choosing the second path, the journey of individuation, can you truly live. The world will always try to pull you into mass-mindedness. But now, you have the knowledge to resist. You have the power to awaken. So, what will you choose? If the undiscovered self resonates with you, consider exploring Man and His Symbols, Carl Jung, a deeper look into archetypes and the unconscious. The Hero with 1,000 Faces, Joseph Campbell. How Myths Reveal the Journey of Self-Discovery. Meditations, Marcus Aurelius. Ancient Wisdom on Self-Awareness and Personal Power, 1984, George Orwell. A chilling look at mass control and conformity. Jung's journey is not for the faint of heart, but for those who dare to uncover the truth about themselves. Will you take the first step?